We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium. 11 Jets made their way out of the tunnel.
That was a really
ready to go. We're ready to go. It should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. They get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And this 2019 season will be pivotal for wide receiver Sterling Shepard, who has a chance to emerge from the big shadow of Odell Beckham Jr., who was traded to Cleveland in the offseason. Here's his chance to maybe go over the 1,000-yard mark for the first time in his career.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Los Angeles.
Nice play right there to stop
the Jets and Giants
line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
You just have to acknowledge
the second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
So here are the Jets under new head coach Adam Gase. They will be led out by their second-year quarterback, the third QB taken in 2018, Sam Darnold.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffling. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And with all the moves the New York Jets made in the offseason, one of the more valuable pickups, Kelechi Osemele, a two-time Pro Bowl guard who they got from the Raiders in a trade back in March. You know the Jets are going to try and run the football with Le'Veon Bell now? Osemele is one of the best moving guards in the NFL.
Bell, of course, three-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
It is something that's kind of become now almost assumed. You just kind of expect it nowadays, especially in those bigger cities where there's already so many teams.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4, and this looks like it's going to be holding. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You think being those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 23 carries, 120 yards even.
And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
All right, so like I was saying a little bit earlier.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Darnold from the gun. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Partner, that was a lovely corner route and a lovelier pass.
Put it right there in the breadbasket, didn't he?
Just dropped it right in there.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
It was a
and the
really
reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
You had Andrew WK doing party hard. You had
that loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
On there along with some up-and-comers, but then you also had some hip-hop and rap stars.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kareem Martin.
Instinctively, I was hoping
his fifth sack of the season.
A receiver had already
start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Push a little bit deep then.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. And he's going to go down again. O'Shane Ximines in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, maybe it's like my wedge. When you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. Get a 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
I keep expecting that I should.
Following the sack.
Rush the ball out, and it's not happening.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep, Golden Tate. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. We take a look ahead at what's to come later tonight. Sunday Night Football, it'll be the Vikings and the Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then tomorrow night, we've got the Seahawks and the Niners from Levi's Stadium. And we were in the Bay Area for the Raiders on Thursday night. Now right back out to watch the Niners on Monday night.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
They call timeout promptly at the 1-minute mark, even if they've allowed the clock to run excessively.
On 1st down, Manning. He completes it to Tate. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards and a Giant first down. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard seasons 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Manning going to hand it off to Barkley, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown.
I figure the worst thing that could come from this is that
some problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out come the Jets. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
This is the running back, Powell. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And a penalty flag is down to the backfield as they finally bring him to the turf. But I'm not sure this is going to stand. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just
with the defender and find a way to start coming down with it.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Darnold, airing one out for Crowder. And that will be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Too much.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak on top so far with the football here 1st and 10. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Always a plethora of storylines when the Jets and Giants get together, and certainly one big storyline is what they've been able to do in the backfield. Saquon Barkley, he's the Giants' future in the backfield, and now Le'Veon Bell coming over from Pittsburgh. He has really solidified what the Jets want to do carrying the football, and both of these guys threats catching it as well. They really appear to both be set for years to come. These are going to be some fun battles to watch. On 2nd and 12, Manning, it's complete to Diggs.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now Saquon Barkley. And an alley to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Manning. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Bell running on first down as he'll push forward for about 3. Michael Thomas on the stop. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Darnold. His throw incomplete.
When you can count on one hand the number of completions you've had in a game and we're in the second half, that tells you it's really not been your day.
Yeah, but you're losing. You can't just abandon the passing game altogether.
Yeah, maybe you can get hot, string a few together, and get rolling.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kareem Martin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He was...
Everything shakes out in the Super Sim.
For a Nunwa there.
Partner,
at this point, continue this on will just, I can only see this getting worse.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done.
Yeah.
Really well done. So I would say game balls for every...
We shall try again in another game.